There's a quote that Jeremy Clarkson, the old Top Gear presenter, said. Now, yes, granted, he was talking about cars and speeding and all that sort of stuff, but he said speed never killed anyone. Suddenly becoming stationary is what gets you. Now, obviously, he's talking about high-speed car crashes, but you can look at the same thing and use that as an analogy for the body too. Quite often, clients come in after they hit that retirement age and they've been working and been busy, haven't had any pain at all. Once they hit retirement age and they stop, all of a sudden, that's when they start feeling pain. Hey guys, Josh and Ninja here from MMT. Today, we're going to be looking at plantar fascia pain and some areas that are often overlooked, or if we've had clients in the past that have had persistent pain and the common areas that get treated that haven't been doing the work, sometimes these other areas have proven to be beneficial. So
where are we looking?
We're going to be looking into the back of Ninja's calf. So as Ninja stands up there, we're going to be looking right up here, because all these muscles do come in, even down on this outer side, where our big toe flexor actually comes in and then runs down around the back. So we're going to look at the outer side of the calf as well. We're going to look down here into behind each of the malleoluses, and if none of those work, we're going to even look right in here, our top of the foot money spot. So we're going to get into that and we'll show you how it's done. So Ninj, get you down on the table. We'll look at that calf first, mate.
Yep.
Get a little bit of wax, not too much. We'll try and warm up that area a little bit first, because he's probably not had much work on your calf for a little while. So we'll come in just a broad palm and we'll just do a one sort of, again, slow, methodical, like everything we do here at MMT. Nice, slow, methodical stroke, just to try and warm up that calf, just so we can see if we can find any areas of adhesion or sticky points. But again, just nice, slow, methodical. Good connection, not rushing anything. How's it feel, Ninj?
Good. That up this point here is where it's starting
where he's starting to feel it a bit.
Feel a bit, yeah. The Achilles is feeling pretty good. So for now, yeah, it's action.
Yeah. And so sometimes it's even just having that dialogue with the client, figuring out, particularly with plantar fascia pain, the stereotypical spot is right in here, right in that meaty part of, or just under that front part of that calcaneus, that front of the heel there, and sometimes in the arch. And yes, stereotypically speaking, that's the first point of call that we would go to if someone who we've never treated before is coming in with these pains. This treatment here is, if that hasn't worked, what else can we do? Where else can we go? What's that definition of insanity, Ninj? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
If we were treating that and not getting a result, we need to explore. We need to find what else could be causing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, Ninj.
Yeah.
I just feel that I felt a little bit of a kickback. Nothing too major, but just where that muscle tension just started to build up a little bit more. So again, like we do here at MMT, sit, hold, wait.
Yeah.
Nothing too rushed.
Yeah. Give it a chance to melt, change state.
Well, that's it. Sometimes, you see people when they're getting good rub downs and stuff, and it's flush. If you've got a sore spot in there, you're coming up to that stimulus, you're brushing over it and it hurts. You're not allowing that stimulus to actually adapt and change, are you? So it's where this slow, methodical approach is always good. Yeah. But yeah, this is still a warm-up stroke. So it's still long and slow and methodical, but it's still purposeful. We're not we're still just looking for those areas of adhesion, areas of tension that could be in Ninja's calf. Now, commonly speaking, you see plantar fasciitis it doesn't discriminate. It can occur in any population. You do see it normally in a bit more older population, but you do also see it in athletes. So I've seen it in a lot of football players running around in footy boots and stuff. That's made a bit of an impact on their foot. So it can happen for anyone. So now, as you can see, I've just changed my tool. I've gone from that broad palm into just that more localized thumb running. I can feel that back of his fibula, and I'm sort of in that groove there. Can feel where that, like I said, that big toe flexor runs through here. Stereotypically also, when you're doing testing for plantar fasciitis, if that big toe if you struggle to extend that big toe, it is a common test that people use to test if people, or if it's painful when you do it, if it's painful when you go through those movements, it is a indicator that this person may have plantar fasciitis. Doesn't mean it's not 100%, oh, it hurts when you do that, you do have it. It's just an indication. Oh, good Ninja. You can look at his face there, he's grimacing a little bit.
Yeah.
Giving you a little bit of spice. The thing is, you know that it's doing good. It's not traumatic. A few little muscle twitches I can feel under the thumb as well. And some people might be going, but if my pain's in my foot, why are you treating up here in the calf? Well, if you look at the anatomy charts of these muscles that control your ankle movement, they all come up through this calf area. Like I said, your big toe flexor, which is what we're on now, is right here. So just making sure that we're addressing all those muscles. Yes, there's a large number of muscles in the foot itself as well that, like I said before at the start of the video, when people are first coming in presenting with it, that's what we do. That's where we first address. But this is, like I said, those overlooked areas. Oh, good Ninja. Still with me?
Yeah, that's good, man. That's really good. Letting you run the show.
I can feel like when I'm first there, and you can see where I've been dragging a little bit, where I started. You can see that line. Again, slow, methodical, but I've felt a little twitch there as well.
Good.
But I've felt that density, that tissue that was like a big solid tube just start to melt down, and that's what happens when you give it the time that it deserves rather than just rushing. Yeah, finding some good spots here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh.
Feels therapeutic, man.
Yeah. Slow and methodical. Purpose. And just trusting the process too. Like a lot of this stuff is intuition. So, I'm on a spot and I'm tracing a line up that muscle, but angles, I'm doing few little shimmies and shakes just to try and find where is the best spot for me to give the best treatment for Ninja, so that he can get back out running, he can get out sprinting and using his body.
important, isn't it? That's what the body's for.
Exactly. The body's designed to move.
Yeah, moving and doing stuff, isn't it? That's what we want. When you're kind of not moving, you're old. You feel old, don't you? When you're kind of in pain, you feel old. So yeah, you want to be able to move fluently and gracefully. Yeah, with purpose. Do whatever you want.
Now, there's a quote that Jeremy Clarkson, the old Top Gear presenter, said. Now, yes, granted, he was talking about cars and speeding and all that sort of stuff, but he said speed never killed anyone. Suddenly becoming stationary is what gets you. Now, obviously, he's talking about high-speed car crashes, but you can look at the same thing and use that as an analogy for the body too. Quite often, clients come in after they hit that retirement age and they've been working and been busy, haven't had any pain at all. Once they hit retirement age and they stop, all of a sudden, that's when they start feeling pain. So, you've got to use your body. Use it or lose it.
Yep.
Alrighty, I'm going to finish that stroke up there, just so you can see some other areas as well. I've done a video on this before with some calf stuff, but we'll come in here as well. And just in this position, obviously everything is soft, so we can actually get really in and deep and scoop in behind that knee and affect some of those deeper fibers that you can't quite get when that muscle is at length. So yeah, you can see I've got my hand cupped around here and I'm actually tractioning laterally. So I'm pulling that way, trying to just create a little bit of sensation through that calf there as well. And what sort of instigated this video today, like I said, I've had some clients that have been presenting with plantar fascia pain lately. Funnily enough, my dad has been going through some plantar fascia pain as well. And for him, he's had it in the past, but it's never been this bad, and then it was starting to get better. And then he's like, I was asking him, so have you changed anything? Has there been any change in your routine that could have caused this to happen? And he couldn't really think of what is still active, is still working, still doing all the stuff that he was doing. And then I asked him about his footwear. Has he changed his shoes lately? And he said, yeah, look, he did a few weeks back, but he just went to, the new updated version of the footwear that he was already wearing. And that could have been a contributing factor. Now, it might have already happened beforehand anyway, regardless of the change of footwear, but he couldn't think of anything else that could have contributed to it. And that was the one thing that I'm like, well, your foot is used to one type of stimulus that you've had, and now you've changed it to something that's slightly different. It's going to take time to adapt. Don't know if you're catching that, but there was a little bit of a twitch there from Ninja as well as I got in deep again. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I'm not going to torture you too much, but sometimes, yeah, releasing through this back of the knee. I'm going to do a little bit on this medial side as well. So again, finding that depth, not rushing too much, finding that barrier, which I can sort of feel there. Not too hard on your Ninja there, is it?
That's all right.
It's all right, yeah. But yeah, we're almost trying to get down to that bone level where that back of the tibia is, and we're trying to impact changes to those tibialis posterior that through that deep soleus muscle, and even affecting some change to those gastrocs, but just making some change through there as well. But yeah, trying to get in deep and purposeful. Good, nice and relaxed. I'm just gonna bring that foot back down. Actually, before I do that, let's just take that foot through a little bit of a foot boogie as well. Why not? MMT foot boogie. Just try and get a little bit of movement through those metatarsals as well. Feels a little bit jacked up through there. Alrighty. Relax it. Now we're going to come in and we're going to look at these connective tissues through behind both of the malleoluses. Generally speaking, again, a lot of people get it more on that more medial side. So we might start on there. Leo, we want to come around this way, you might catch it a bit better. But yeah, we're going to come in right next to that calcaneus. And then you can see that malleolus through there. We're just going to try and impact some change just through these tissues through here. So through here, again, that's where that big toe flexor comes down and runs down. You've also got that tibialis posterior that runs into that arch. So those tendons, sometimes they can get a little bit stuck. Just trying to impact some change through this area. You can feel there's something there that wants to soften down. And then once you've found that depth, again, it's exploring the angles. So which angle do I need to press? Whether it's pressing more towards that Achilles on that way, or is it more towards that condyle of of the tibia there? There's a little bit of a twitch going that way, so I sort of want to explore that a bit more as well. Yeah, you're doing well, mate. Now these areas can be rather sensitive as well, so as a practitioner, again, that's where that communication, that building that trust with your client first. Ninja and I have treated each other quite a few times, so I sort of know what his threshold is. But even then, like, you can have someone who you've treated many, many times, and if they've got a particular injury or a particular flare-up, you've still got to check in with them, make sure that you're not overstepping any boundaries. Oh, good ninja.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's sort of where our MMT philosophies come into it, doesn't it? The alleyway and the cornflower. Do you want to talk a bit more about those, Ninj? You're the expert with those.
That's our secret sauce.
Our secret sauce.
Yeah, herbs and spices.
I guess if you want to learn it, you've got to do one of our mentorship courses.
Do the course, yeah. We go right into it. So yeah, they're the concepts that everyone that does our work learns and then refers back to. So yeah, it's how we get it done. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it?
Well, it's funny how much like it all comes back to that.
Yeah.
As well. That slow, methodical sinking in. But then, like I said, getting in close to that bone, getting into all those nooks and crannies. What's Elliot's thing? Where the sun don't shine. Getting into all those little nooks and crannies that is where all these pain things start to manifest.
Yeah.
Oh, good man. Good.
Yeah, we're going to try and go to the source, haven't we? Where get most bang for buck.
Yep, all the money spots.
Clear it out.
We'll come more laterally now, and we'll come around this side as well. Again, this side, generally speaking, not as linked to plantar fascia pain, but can be. And just for overall foot function and balance, I think it's good just to make sure that we're ticking off all boxes. So yeah, you can see obviously the pressure that I'm pushing in that way. There's a little bit of the wrinkling of the skin, but I'm trying to just also impact the deeper fibers through there as well. And that doesn't feel too bad. There's a little bit of a barrier there, but nothing too wild. And then I guess the big thing is just making sure that you're getting some maintenance as well. You know, you don't have to be in pain to get treatment. Making sure that you're staying on top of yourself, making sure that you're looking after all these things and coming in before they become problematic. You know, I hear a lot of clients go, oh look, I wait and wait and wait and then it becomes a big problem. I'm like, well, if you come in with the first sign of symptom, or even if you don't have any symptoms, come in early. It's a much quicker fix rather than waiting and waiting and waiting. Particularly if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete, you want to be out there doing the things that you want to do. If you wait until it's an injury, you're on the bench for a longer period of time. Alrighty, Ninj. What I'll get you to do, I'll get you to take a seat on the edge for me. First things first, how's it feeling? Take it through some movement. How's it feeling at the moment? Feels like it's a bit looser, a bit freer?
Yeah, it's good.
Good, it's what we want. So now, we're looking at the top of the foot, an area that hardly anyone that I've known, apart from us here at MMT, start to focus on. So there's a couple of good money spots. Obviously, top of the ankle where that tibialis anterior comes in and inserts. So I'm going to come in with this thumb actually. I don't know if that's going to be blocking you at all, Leo, but I'm going to come in here. And again, we're just sort of pressing in, trying to almost, again, get down to that bone level and affect some change through there. And we can do this static like we are now, but we can also get it through a little bit of movement as well. So once we find that spot, we can even pin and hold, and then when it gets tolerable, Ninj can go through some movements. As you can see, he's starting to move those toes as well. But yeah, you can move over that angle, that knee over the toes, and just try and find when Ninja's knee moves forward, I naturally sink in a little bit deeper because that joint gets narrower. I can sink in more, and then as he comes back, again, just get that connection again.
Ooh, right on it.
Right on it. Good.
Yeah, it's good there.
I felt like just even you doing that movement got me into that spot because I could feel I could get in that little bit deeper, and then again, it's using that intuition, finding which angle it needs to be. So I'm sort of, as you can possibly see from the angle of my thumb, I'm pushing this way. Because that's just sort of what it felt like Ninja was needing at the time. But for another client, you might need to be pushing the other way or back towards the heel. So it's finding what works for the person at that time, but also just trying to be super, super effective. And you can do this, again, I'm not really moving my thumb, I'm pinning and holding. Ninja's doing the movement, he's controlling the pace. It doesn't have to be super, super fast, it's just, he's sort of able to control how deep I go, which is also beneficial. But yeah, I've seen some really good results with plantar fascia pain, treating through the front of the foot, through this ankle here, and then in the next spot that I'll take you through, and the top of the foot as well. It's funny how neglected it can be. Alrighty, Ninja. I reckon do 3 more of those. Good.
Whoa.
2. Good, man. 1 more. 3. Good, man. And then I'm just relaxed. I'm going to slowly sink out of there. You're going to be able to see the big pit where my thumb was. Look at that. Look at that. Now try and take it through that movement just without the thumb there. Yeah, it's getting some...
It's easier, isn't it?
It's easier, a lot more freer. All that blood flow that's gone to that, through that joint. Good, man. The last spot that we're going to go through for this video today, because it's already getting a little bit long, we're going to look here. So that top of the foot, base of the toes, sometimes just a little finger through there, because it can be rather sensitive, is good. I will come in with a thumb though, just because it's a bit stronger for me.
Yeah.
Give you a little bit more grimace. And then here you can see Ninja's getting up on his, like lifting his heel up and moving that as well. So he's pushing into my thumb and then he'll relax again. Yeah, good. But they're just going at the rate that his body will allow me to. And this is just creating space through the top of the foot, because muscles have agonist and antagonistic relationships. So, you know, the most common example, bicep and tricep, they do opposing actions. It's the same thing with the muscles on the foot. The muscles on the top have opposing actions to the muscles on the bottom. So sometimes you need to release the antagonistic muscle to relieve the pain in the agonist. We're hitting some gold there.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it just keeps on coming, but yeah, I'm glad I got through that initial bit. That was pretty spicy.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's spicy, but you're knowing that it's doing good, don't you? It's a fine line that we trace. We don't want to be going, Josh has just bashed my foot up for an hour. You know, we want to make sure that you know, we're not causing more trauma, but we also at times want to replicate that pain. We want to get into those areas and free them up. I think there's nothing better than being the client on the table when someone presses into the spot and it replicates the pain that you've been trying to get out, because it means you're hitting the right areas. Alrighty. Yeah, it's starting to soften off now as well. And look, depending on how much time you've got with your client and stuff, and how much they need it, we could be in this spot for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't think Ninja needs that long, but yeah, if you're someone that's foot has been really, really sore, sometimes just doing this can make a world of difference. I will just sink out of there slowly now as well, and you'll get to see another good pit. Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that. So you can see that I was well and truly deep into there. And then Ninja's just, again, going through those movements. It's created blood flow and space in that joint, so it should be able to move a lot more freely now. Yeah. You can tell that, it just looks like it's moving a bit more freely. How's it feel, mate?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Yeah, good to have had it done.
Fantastic. Now, normally speaking, after this, we'd finish up the treatment. I'd give them a few little things and tips to do at home as well. The good thing is with the top of the foot, it is an area that you can reach. So if Ninja's there and he goes, I'm a bit sore, he can press into things with his hands as well and massage things that he needs to. Generally speaking, people don't put themselves through the pain that we put them through, but he can push into those spots and go, okay, this is where Josh pushed in. Let's see if I can replicate that. But then it's the biggest thing is getting that foot moving again, doing those things and exercising those muscles that through inactivity or years of wearing rigid footwear, narrow toe boxes, those sort of things, excuse me, they can get those movements back into those metatarsals, back into those toes, into that ankle joint, and free it up. So even doing what Ninja's doing there, those little calf raises, what we like to call toe pianos, where you're like trying to individually move those toes and stuff, spreading those toes out and trying to create space through the bottom of the foot. It's great for just overall strength and functionality of the foot itself. But that's just a little bit of a glimpse of how we can treat the uncommon areas of plantar fascia pain. If your stereotypical sole of the foot hasn't been working, try this out and see if we can get you feeling better. Done.
Done, mate.